When I came to faith in 1971 and the immediate days after that, so I knew there were people that were called to be pastors and there were evangelists. I knew those too. So the evangelist, that was someone that traveled from church to church, and the pastor was one stayed in one place. That's what I knew. And then I found out that there's some called to be teachers, that Jesus spent a lot of his ministry teaching, okay, so that was another calling. But I remember asking one day, are there prophets around today? I asked my pastor, do you think there are prophets today? By which I thought of like an Isaiah, maybe in a cave somewhere today with a long beard and a scroll. And he said, yeah, I believe there's some prophets today. And, the question of apostles we didn't really talk about because you had the 12 apostles and that was it. But then you have Ephesians chapter 4, verse 11. Ephesians 4:11, speaking of Jesus when he ascended, that he gave the apostles, or he gave some to be apostles, prophets, evangelists, shepherds, or pastors, and teachers. Now, some say this is what we call fivefold ministry: apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, teachers. Some say it's really fourfold: apostles, prophets, evangelists, and then pastor/teacher. Do these ministries all exist today? Yes, I believe they do. No, you don't have the 12 apostles or anyone functioning with that same authority today or writing scripture. But do you have people who are called to be apostles, just like, for example, Barnabas is called an apostle in Acts 14? It just means a sent one. These who are foundation layers, who are spiritual fathers, who might be church planters, who might be movement leaders. I believe, say, someone like Hudson Taylor or someone like William Booth. I believe they were apostles, even though they didn't carry that name or have that concept. I believe they are. One of my friends in India who's planted over 7,000 churches, who's planted ministries in other nations, who's built hospitals, who's been a prophetic witness for the Lord, who's almost stoned to death for his faith. We're stoned for his faith. I believe he's a modern-day apostle, even though he wouldn't use that term. And yes, there are clearly prophets today. Read the end of 1 Corinthians 12, and you'll see prophets, apostles, all tied in together with miracles and teachers and administrators and tongues, all tied in together. Those who are hearing the voice of God and declaring it, not Scripture. It was never Scripture when they were speaking in the New Testament. This was written down as part of the Bible. But there are always prophetic words being given, and the counsel that we're to continue to seek the gift of prophecy and continue to prophesy is in 1 Corinthians 14 and 1 Thessalonians 5. Don't put out the Spirit's fire. Don't despise prophecies. That remains. And yes, there are prophetic people today. I believe that. And there are evangelists, those specially called to reach the lost and to equip the church to reach the lost. When we recognize these different gifts and they all work together and need one another and are equally submitted to authority and part of a body, when we recognize this, I believe we will have maximum health in our church life and ministry.